Did the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes ruin The Rock's WrestleMania moment? New insight from one of The Rock's closest allies, Brian Gewirtz, may point in this direction. We're going to tell you what Brian had to say this week that has people wondering this question. We're also going to give a massive update on an AEW star who will be out for some time with a significant injury. All that and much more coming up right here in this video. So be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So we all know what happened in the time leading up to WrestleMania with Cody Rhodes, The Rock, and that whole thing of, was it supposed to be The Rock? Was it supposed to be Cody? Well, Brian Gewirtz was recently on a podcast, and he discussed this specific moment between Cody, The Rock, and Roman, and here's what he said. He says, quote, "The idea was supposed to be, it's like the Nixon-Kennedy debate, a little bit where you read the transcript and you're like, Nixon kicked his ass. If you're watching the actual footage, oh, he was a sweaty, terrible mess. Cody, it was supposed to be in some form, yeah, effing A, go get him, Rock. You're going to get your ass kicked, Roman. Let's do this." And this uplifting promo, but instead, he looked like someone shot his dog in the face in the parking lot. That, I don't think, helped matters. It might not have changed or affected anything, certainly on paper, and I don't blame Cody for that. He's real and one of the realest people I've ever met. Brian Gewirtz said this on the Masked Men show. So, interesting comments there from Brian Gewirtz. Again, I think one thing to remember with Gewirtz here is he's part of The Rock's inner circle, and I don't think this kind of stuff comes out unless it's a little bit deliberate. And I think part of this is playing into this feud that WWE has obviously built up and will build up even more, you would think, leading up to a big match between Cody Rhodes and The Rock. And I think part of this is building up that match, talking about how, yeah, Cody didn't play ball, for lack of a better term. And that's what I think they're alluding to. That's what I think they want to build. And that's part of the story they want to tell. And they've already told. Like The Rock said that, Cody Rhodes went back on his promise. The Rock was supposed to be the guy in storyline and all that to face Roman at WrestleMania. And it was supposed to be this big moment for the bloodline, this big moment for the Anoa'i family. And that just did not happen. But the question people are asking is, was this real? And the real answer to that is we don't know. It's very well possible, and I do believe that the original plans for WrestleMania that night when Cody gave up his spot, I think that night that plan was for Rock and Roman. I don't think there's any doubt about that for people who've been paying attention to the news and how that stuff trickles down. But things changed. And you could argue that part of the reason things changed was because Cody was visibly very upset. And the narrative and the truth was that you could see a guy who, yeah, like Brian said, looked like his dog got shot in the face in his parking lot because he knew that this was going to be bad. He knew that he was going to look like absolute dog poop. And he knew that this WrestleMania moment, this big match, this redemption of the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes was on hold and it wasn't going to look good. And it didn't. And I think that two things can be kind of true. I think they can be playing into this for a story, but also I don't think like Cody probably was supposed to look as upset as he did. It was obvious that he wasn't happy. The news reports came out that he was not happy, and it is what it is. Things changed, and I don't think if Cody goes out there and gives a rah-rah speech that it changes things much. I think fans would still be pissed because at the end of the day, it would still look bad. It would look horrible. Cody Rhodes wins back-to-back Royal Rumbles, trying to redeem himself after getting screwed out of the WWE Universal Championship at Mania 39. And just as he's about to redeem himself, just as he's about to have a second chance at finishing his story, he gives it away. Any professional wrestling fan, let alone Cody Rhodes fan, any professional wrestling fan would have a problem with that. And should have a problem with that. It was bad. And it was a move that many speculate, and myself included speculate, was probably done as a way to give WWE some PR boost in the wake of the Vince McMahon allegations and the lawsuit that was filed by Janelle Grant. We've talked about that ad nauseum on this channel, and it has obviously changed the way that people see WWE and people view that product. But I don't think that anything, changes. I think we still are going to see the fan backlash. We would still see and hear people complaining. I think Cody would probably still finish his story at Mania, even if he cut that big rah-rah promo that Brian was talking about. But I do think this is a case of, kind of playing into reality a little bit for the sake of a storyline. But let me know in the comments, did The Rock actually try to meddle his way into Mania? Did Cody Rhodes screw The Rock? I know that's what some of y'all are going to say out there, but let me know in the comment section what y'all think for sure. As we move on to our next story, be sure to also smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever new videos are released. Let's talk about an injury, a massive injury in AEW, as AEW star Eddie Kingston looks to be out with a pretty significant injury. Here is the report from PW Insider. Quote, Eddie Kingston is confirmed to have suffered a tibial fracture to his leg. PW Insider has learned Kingston suffered the injury taking a suplex through a table bridge across to the ring to the guardrail while facing Gabe Kidd at the New Japan Pro Wrestling show, with his leg slamming over the rail as he crashed through the table. He still finished the match and went through the planned post-match angle with the Elite. The injury was confirmed after a series of x-rays in California. Kingston is currently waiting confirmation on how the injury will be addressed medically. We are told he is hoping to return by All In, but that will depend on whether surgery is required, and that is via Mike Johnson of PW Insider reporting. So, unfortunate news for Eddie Kingston. Obviously, he had to be pulled from the Anarchy in the Arena match, one of the triple main events that AEW is plugging for Double or Nothing in Memorial Day weekend in Vegas. It's unfortunate news. It's bad news. It's horrible news, especially as a fan of Eddie Kingston, quite frankly. I don't want to see him out. I think at a time where AEW, is suffering from lower ratings and, lower attendance, having a guy who is beloved by your core fan base to the degree that Eddie is less than ideal. It's horrible. And I don't think that it is, wise, in my view, for Eddie to try to rush back, honestly. I think no matter what, Eddie Kingston, I understand he wants to be in that ring, and this is his life. Like, he has said that this is his life, and he has a passion for this. I don't think there's many people who represent AEW better than Eddie Kingston. But that All In date, it makes me wary, because All In is what now, 3 months away. And he's basically suffering a broken leg. Coming back in 3 months is it's ambitious. I'm not saying Eddie can't do it. I think if there's one thing that's for sure, Eddie Kingston is as stubborn as hell, and he will his way back from this injury. I know that for a fact, and that's part of why we all love him, right? But I hope for Eddie's sake that whenever he does come back, he is 100%. He's ready to go, because the company's going to need him for the long run. He is one of their cornerstones as far as, just the being not only on screen, like the heart and soul of AEW, but like really backstage. Like there's a lot of respect in that locker room. And you can tell by the way people talk about Eddie Kingston, there's a lot of respect for Eddie in that locker room. And he is a leader there. He is a leader in that locker room. So anytime you have someone like him who is on the shelf and out, and especially when you look at the injuries that AEW already has, MJF out, Britt Baker out, Jamie Hayter out. You have Adam Cole, who's still out. Like he's on TV like every now and then, but he's out. That's a lot of major players who are not on your TV show. And add Eddie Kingston to that list. I mean, look, you want to talk about AEW having this great roster. They do. But with the injuries, man, they have not been able to maximize that. I think once they do get people like MJF, like Eddie Kingston and the like back, I think we're going to see a bit of a rise in popularity for AEW probably because they're going to have that full roster to work with. And Kenny Omega as well. Like it's been unfortunate to see the injury bug hit AEW as much as it has over the past year, but hoping everyone gets healthy, hoping everyone gets better. And, again, Eddie Kingston, one of their cornerstones. Hopefully he is well. Shout out to Eddie Kingston. Guys, let me know in the comment section, though, what you think of all this news. What do you think about the Cody stuff? I'm really interested to hear what y'all have to say about that. Until next time, though, I'm Omer Q for Real Take Wrestling. Be happy, be healthy. As always, keep it real. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll see you next time.